How are we doing, guys? Hacked Single Figures here, and we're down at the Ryan Rastall Performance Centre once again. And today we're not having a lesson, we're not trying golf clubs. We've come to talk to Ryan. So Ryan, you'll have seen on previous videos. Ryan is a self-confessed golf geek and a custom fitter and knows everything there is to know about golf clubs. So today we're going to talk to Ryan specifically about 2018 drivers from 3 of the big manufacturers. So the ones that are claiming to have made the biggest technological changes with their drivers. And will these changes and these improvements in technology actually make any difference to golfers like me and probably you? So we're going to look at Taylormade M3 M4, obviously, Callaway Rogue, and also the Cobra F8 driver. So we're going to chat with Ryan. We're going to get his honest opinion on what he thinks these clubs are like, what the new technology is, and most importantly, can it really make a difference to our game? So we'll go grab Ryan and we'll talk golf clubs. We'll start with Taylormade and the M3 and M4 driver, because I think Taylormade are the ones that have made the biggest song and dance about their technology. So we'll find Ryan and let's go talk twist face.
So we're taking a look at Taylormade to start with, and the hashtag that's around everywhere, twist face.
Twist my face.
So all golf clubs have what we call roll and bulge. So roll, basically the curvature from top to bottom, bulge from heel to toe. So we look at the twist face technology is a bit of a different take on that and a different spin on it. So when they've tested multiple shots hit by not just robots, because that gives you a bit of you can tell the robot where to strike it on the face. Yeah. Human beings are very different. So what they find when testing live golf shots from live players, so they go elite level as well as amateur golfers, is they find that most of the strikes either occur low heel up to high toe. All right, so this kind of diagonal section across the face. Now, traditionally, if we were to hit the ball out the toe, we all know that it generally comes off with a bit of a knuckleball kind of flight. So it comes off a bit slingy and a bit top spinny and kind of goes a little bit further and hooks a little bit more potentially.
I know that shot.
Indeed, you certainly do. Similarly, if we hit it out low heel, we get that one that climbs on us and spins a little bit and doesn't go anywhere. All right. So what they've done with twist face is to actually add some loft to the top of the toe and also curve the toe out a little bit. So what it does is reduces what we call gear effect. Now, gear effect is what brings that ball back onto target again. So in the heel, that higher, spinnier one, that is actually now lower loft and launch, so we don't get that happening on us. High toe will launch a little bit higher with a bit more spin, so we don't get that knuckleball effect. So really, essentially what we're seeing is that if we strike it low heel or high toe, as well as middle of the face, we're going to get decent results. Now, does that work for everybody? Absolutely not, I wouldn't say. It works for the majority of golfers that people have tested, but we're all different. We all hit the ball different. We all swing it different. Now, twist face is going to help you slightly if you're one of those guys who does hit it here, or high toe or low heel, and it will potentially help get the ball back onto target, or maybe not make it go so far off target. Now, the problems I've found when I've tested this driver myself, and also with all levels of golfer really, if you're someone who swings, this is an example, if you're someone who swings massively from the inside, so you would generally hit a massive draw. Now, that kind of a player relies on gear effect a little bit. They need that to help the ball come back to target. Now, arguably, we would have a look at technique to try and aid that and make it better. In which case, twist face would suit you more and more if you improved. But if just taking, like I say, this example of someone who swings massively from the inside and they've got the face a little bit open, they would normally hit a bit of a push that would, or maybe even a hook that would come back onto target again, or left of target. Now, twist face is going to straighten that up a touch. But if we get someone that comes from the inside and the face is open and they would normally hit a block, that's going to go further right, because essentially if they strike it out the high toe, the face is more open, so it's going to go further right. Now, obviously that shot is made worse, but your general miss, which is just either side of the sweet spot, low heel and high toe, it's going to make it slightly better. Okay. So yes, the technology is awesome and it does work, but it doesn't work for everybody.
Okay.
So what I would say is when you get fitted for a driver, it's very important to either put some spray or tape on the face to see where you're striking it.
Right, okay.
Because if we're hitting it in an area that twist face is not going to help, then it's not really going to have an effect. So, so we need to obviously ascertain that as well when we fit somebody for it.
They are lovely looking golf. I do like they do look mint.
Yeah, they do.
I haven't tried these actually. I have tried the others, but I haven't tried these yet. So I will do that.
No, I mean, I've hit them both. They're very, very good. They obviously have hammerhead technology as well, which is basically a way of stiffening the face to stop the deformation of the club head. So that combined with twist face means that we get ball speed, but also the twist face helps with the directional problems as well. So both of the major technologies involved in the Taylormade driver, yes, they do help. They, you know, we're seeing, certainly when I'm testing against last year's model, you get more ball speed and they're a bit more forgiving. They go a bit straighter. So marketing spin or genuine improvements in technology, definite improvement in technology, but not right for everyone. No, absolutely not. Which is, you know,
it's like any golf club, isn't it?
Yeah. What's right for one is not right for another. Yeah. So you need to get fitted for this golf club. You need to see whether M4 or M3 is going to be better for you. You need to see whether a 440 head or a 460 head is going to be better for you. Length of shaft is obviously really important as well, not to mention stiffness. But all of those variables are obviously very important. But we also look at technique as well when we're fitting. So it's, you know, we don't just do it by generalisation. Really.
So Taylormade, not all marketing spin.
I don't think so. I think it's very good, and it's certainly an improvement on last year's two offerings. I think it's made the golf clubs more forgiving, and yes, there is more of a story for them to talk about, but also it is going to help. Okay,
so let's move on to. Should we look at Cobra?
Cobra,
the F8.
Yes, indeed.
Now the F8 I have tried. If you want to check that video out, I'll put a link up to that up there. Check that video out of me testing it against the Epic. I love this golf club.
Yeah.
I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. So technology for this one, the F8, what's different?
A few things. Main one being the CNC milled club face, which we haven't seen in a driver. Which
generally putter technology.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with milling on the face, it just means that everything's more precise, and that's really what this is about. Now, when you look at the product videos that Cobra have released on this, it shows you the normal process of how to put the roll and bulge on the club face. So it's a guy literally grinding it on a machine in a factory. Now, one guy's eye and another guy's eye might be different, so you might get different lofts, different roll and bulge. So essentially, the club faces, once they're welded in, can be very, very different. Which is why, you know, you go on tour vans these days and you see all the lofts on the clubs are actually written on the bottom because they've measured them and tested them. And essentially, so they've come off the same production line. Yeah. They all say 10.5. Yeah. One could be 9, the other one could be 11. So it you know, it varies hugely. This just allows far more control over what loft, what roll and bulge the club face has. So the actual manufacture of it is so much more precise. Now, the 360 Aero is the other technology that's involved. So these little sort of micro fins on the top of the club and also on some of the sole, just going to help the club move better through the air. It's basically making the air less turbulent as it moves around the club head, so it's a little bit faster. Hopefully increases club head speed and ball speed, and also we've got movable weights, so that's going to change basically the amount of spin up to about 300 RPM from front and back position, which doesn't sound a lot, but can be a lot to somebody who either can't get the ball in the air or hits it way too high. We can bring spin down in order to make the ball go a little bit further, or put it up to make it stay in the air a bit longer. So that, as well as the MyFly technology that it's already got in the hosel, which we can change loft and whether it's draw bias and things like that in there as well. This is F8 Plus, which has the front and back weight. The normal F8 has it in the heel and in the centre, so you can move it either back position, increasing MOI, or in the heel, make it more of a draw bias head. So a lot of technology going on here. personally, I know I'm a bit biased. I think Cobra are hugely underrated for their golf clubs.
Yeah, I'd agree.
They make unbelievable kit for nothing like the money that the other manufacturers are
I was going to say that about Cobra, because they are significantly cheaper than Rogue, and just taking drivers into account, for example, Rogue and M3 M4 are a lot more expensive than these, and also
M4 is about 30 quid more.
All right, okay.
But M3 is about 100 quid more.
Yeah.
And we're looking Rogue and Epic are up there at that sort of price as well. So,
and I think people don't seem to be quite cynical with Cobra, because I think Taylormade and Callaway bring out so much stuff.
Yep.
Whereas Cobra don't seem to bring out in the same kind of pace, and don't make quite as much noise about it.
I think that's it. I think they don't shout about it enough, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, the things that they bring out, the technologies that they use are very, you know, they're very different to what other people use as well. So, you know, I think they should really shout about it a lot more. And I'm surprised you don't see more players using their equipment out on tour, really, because the forged irons that they make are awesome. The woods are awesome. But you know, you're going to see Ricky Fowler using this this season, and he's obviously a very, very good golfer. Bryson DeChambeau, Lexi Thompson, people like that, you're going to see using all the new F8 gear. So yeah, it is very, very good. And Greg Norman.
So Cobra F8. So another one, but people just need to go and try them, don't they? I guess
it's the same with everything. Like I say, I can say it's great until the cows come home, but until you hit it yourself, you're not going to know. Absolutely not. But certainly the fittings I've done over the last week since I've had it in the fitting centre, it has more than compared and rubbed shoulders with the ones that we're talking about here, the Callaway Rogues and the Taylormades of this world. And it's certainly a consideration people should have when they're looking at golf clubs. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So finally, we'll move on to Callaway.
Okay. Yep.
So Callaway and the Rogue, which for me, this is one of the most interesting ones, because the fact that they're not replacing the Epic with it, they're going to be in the market together, which I think is quite an interesting move from Callaway. Now, I have tested this one as well against my Epic, as we know, and I didn't see any improvement in performance with this against my Epic. And again, like I say, it's different for everyone. The technology's moved on a little bit, but again, Callaway have made a massive... made an awful lot of noise with the Rogue, and there's an awful lot of the guys on tour have got this.
Absolutely,
you know, I know they get paid money to do it.
They do.
So
and I think you'll see some of those guys switch back to Epic again. I really do.
Oh, do you? Really?
But I think you'll also see a lot of guys using Rogue. I think it'll be very 50-50 the split.
Okay.
And Callaway absolutely, you know, don't say anything that Rogue is better than Epic or anything like that. They do not say that at all. And certainly when we tested it, we could not find, there was nothing quantifiable between the two.
No.
What they're saying basically is the jailbreak technology that they used in Epic has been modified, changed, improved. So now that you know, there's some images which will be on the video which we've shown of the jailbreak technology. Basically, there's two rods behind the face that obviously stops the head from deforming as much. So basically, what those rods do now, instead of them being linear, so they're all the same thickness all the way down, they actually narrow and then widen towards the top.
Okay.
So they're it basically helps stiffen the face even more and give you more ball speed, so less energy is lost in contact. The other main technological I suppose input in here is similar to Epic, which they've had it's called Tri-Axial Carbon that they use in the top of the head. Now, what that is...
Sounds very posh.
Yeah, it's basically carbon in different axis when it's put together, so it makes it nice and strong, but very, very light. So once you use that in the crown of a golf club, the weight that you would have had in there, so we call that discretionary weight, we move that to different places in the club head, so you can make it higher MOI, you can make it more forgiving because you're using weight, you know, further away from the face, further back, obviously makes the face more stable through impact. All those sorts of things that you know, that we want in the golf club. So you may find that Rogue is more forgiving, but on average they're saying about 2 miles an hour faster ball speed from Rogue compared to Epic. So we should see this go a little bit longer and, like I say, be that little bit more forgiving. So Epic, is a bit more fine tunable, which is what we found in your session when we hit it, was that we hit them both very similar yardage, but in terms of dispersion, once we moved the weight into the toe portion of your club, it stopped that flippy one as much. You know, we just tightened it up by 5-10 yards, which is massive when we're playing golf. So it just means that it becomes a slightly more, like I say, fine-tunable and custom-fittable option. But really, that is it. You just getting a little bit more tunability. Is the word I'm gonna use for Epic.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess, by the way, I'm really impressed with your golf geekiness has gone to new levels.
Thanks.
Some amazing words in there that I don't think I've ever heard before. So generally, in terms of people with buying these clubs, and people like me, kind of mid-handicap-ish, you club golfer, if people had last year's model, say they had an M2 and they upgraded to M4, would they really get a noticeable difference? Or are you looking, if your club's 3 or 4 years old, are you more likely to see improvement?
I think so, yeah. If it's older, I think you would. I definitely think with Taylormade, I think it's a huge improvement on last year.
Okay.
I didn't think last year's product was quite as good as the year before, if I'm honest. Certainly the M2 driver, the 2016 M2 driver, was very difficult to get out of people's bags because it was awesome, and you see that on tour as well.
People are still using it, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think Tiger's obviously gone to M3 and hit it everywhere this week. Whether you'll see him go back to his M2, I don't know this week. But yeah, it's been difficult to get out of people's hands and out of people's golf bags. But I really do think M4, particularly of the fittings I've done in the last week, I've not really done much with M3, so I can't really tell you all that much. But M4, I found that some of you might remember a few years ago the SLDR driver when it was out, and it was stupidly low spin, which a lot of people couldn't get it off the ground. Well, a lot of people want that because they hit it so high with so much spin that they want a club head that's gonna drill it a little bit more for them. In the fittings I've done with M4, it has performed very similar to SLDR. It's come out low, hot. I've basically fitted some very high club head speed players in the last few days, and certainly they've hit M4 really, really well. So they've basically hit it, and it's come out very low, spinning, and gone a long way for them, which is absolutely great. So I think the shaft options in Taylormade this year are better than they have been. We're not seeing a shaft made by Taylormade going in some of the fairway woods and drivers now, particularly M2 last year. They're all basically aftermarket ones. So there's a little bit of improvement there.
So I guess the main thing is that people just need to go and try them for yourselves with someone a custom fitter who knows what they're doing.
I'm giving an opinion. We've hit some shots with them all. What I like may not be what you like, may not be what you guys like. So you've got to try these clubs. Do not take my word for it, Kevin's word for it, anyone else that you see online's word for it, because what they're looking for may not be what you're looking for, and certainly the way they hit it isn't the way you hit it. So you've got to try them. You've got to be open-minded. You've got to hit shots, and some of them you'll hate, some of them you'll love. You might go into a fitting desperately wanting an M4 and not be able to hit it at all, and you may walk out with something completely different. But like I say, you've got to try it and get fitted properly, absolutely.
So go and get custom fitted and go and try these clubs. So there you go, guys. All the info you need to know about the 3 main new clubs that are coming out in 2018. Like Ryan says, go and get fitted, go and see your local PGA Pro and go and try them all for yourselves and see how you guys get on with them. If you want any more advice, I'll put the links in below for Ryan. Drop him a message, he'll happily give you any advice you need. I am sure of that.
Absolutely.
Good. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, as always, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click now, subscribe and follow me on this journey to single figures. Guys, thanks for watching. Catch you all soon.